Good afternoon, everyone. Nice sunny afternoon. Currently 84 degrees, but a high of 86 earlier today. And then it clouded up, dropped a little bit, but nice and sunny again now. And I forgot to mention it the other night, but I've got a new feature. I have Nightbot set up. Drop the weather link now. If you just type in weather and your zip code, Nightbot should drop the weather for your area. Here we go. Yep, the official reading for Gravely is always 2 degrees higher than what my thermometer reads here. It's very consistent. And here's Fluffy. She had to come and get on camera. She's so sweet. Every night, as soon as I get in bed, no matter where she is, she comes and gets in bed with me. And she usually spends the whole night, if not the whole night, almost the whole night with me. In fact, really, I think the only time she ever gets down is if she's going to get something to eat or drink or using the litter box. Other than that, she lays either right on the pillow next to me, or after I fall asleep, sometimes she'll go down by my feet. But then as soon as she realizes I'm awake, she'll come right up, lay on my pillow again. Hello, Johnny Small Pepper. Good to have you here. Hello, Texas Homegrown Girl. Good to have you here. I'll put her down for now. Oh, I was going to get Dino, but he wants to play with his sister since I set her over there now. I mentioned this on Tuesday, but I'll mention it again for anyone that wasn't here. I went to try to get my license on Tuesday, and I failed the vision test, but they let me take the written test anyways. But there was a problem with the written test. It was nothing like the practice test they were given. Questions were completely different. And I don't know how bad I did on it because it just pops up on the screen afterwards whether you pass or fail. And it said that I failed. So I had to go to an eye doctor anyways. So went to the Walmart, and one of the Walmarts in Fort Smith, the one on Rogers Ave, does walk-ins. And the places that don't do walk-ins, they're booked out for months. I called the Walmart in Mena, since that was the closest Walmart. They didn't have an appointment available until October. So I called the one on Rogers Ave in Fort Smith, because that's the one that was giving the exam. I asked her if she knew where I could go, and she said that was the only place that she knew of that did walk-ins. She's from Fort Smith, but she said there may be something closer to Waldron. Well, I couldn't find anything, so called the Walmart up there, and yep, they do walk-ins 8 to 10 in the morning, 1 to 3 in the afternoon. So the next day, that's where we went. Found out my vision in my left eye is 2200, and my right eye is 2060. And eye doctor said there isn't a state anywhere in the United States that would let me pass with that vision. Hello, Bobby. Good to have you here. But I'm sure everyone knows how they do stuff at an eye doctor's office. But when he was figuring out what strength I needed and stuff, both eyes are correctable to 20/20. So just had to walk out into the part where they deal with the eyeglasses, hand in the prescription, and they'll be set to pick up sometime this week. They're going to call and let me know when they're done. So then I should have 20/20 vision. And it's not so much for reading, but it's long distances. I can't read up close as well as I used to be able to, but my long distance vision is what's really bad. And then I decided I had all the forms to renew my New York license. And I decided, since it's such a hassle to try to take the written test and everything for Arkansas, that I would just renew my New York license. So I had the eye doctor fill that form out. And then I had a couple donations in my PayPal that covered the fee for that. And I got that sent out yesterday morning. So I'll get my New York license renewed. There shouldn't be an issue with that. And I'm going to downgrade it because I had a CDL-B. I'm just going to downgrade it to a Class B because I don't plan on ever using the CDL again. And then once I get that, then I can just walk into the DMV down here. And since they'll be valid at that time, because my New York license is expired. So that's why there was such a hassle with it. But once I get a valid one, I can just walk in the DMV down here and transfer it right over to an Arkansas license. And there shouldn't be any issue at all. Hello, Tim Sweeney. Good to have you here. So that's going to be good all the way around. I'll have glasses, so I'll be able to see better. Then I'm going to end up being able to get my license. And then once I have an Arkansas license, then I can apply for food stamps and Medicaid here. Because my New York food stamp and New York Medicaid have both been canceled now. So, and I couldn't use the Medicaid here anyways, because none of the places around here will accept that. But the food stamps I was able to use, because they're accepted anywhere in the United States, as long as the store you're trying to use them that has the equipment that's able to do it. I guess some small independent stores don't have the card reader that will do it for every state. And the food stamps could be canceled as of tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure they didn't take anything back that I had left on there. So I put an order into Walmart today, cleaning that card off. There's 4 cents left on it. So if they take that back, they take it back. And then I'm hoping I'll have enough food to get through until I can get food stamps here. Back in here, Fluffy. There. Bring Fluffy back so you can see her. So it was kind of a busy week. My laptop's sitting right here. There, that's a little better. So just all the driving around and waiting around kind of tired me out this week. But I'm hoping this week will be a little smoother. And I got the 3 baby chicks moved outside now. So they're out there with the big birds. They're in a big dog crate, so the big birds can't get to them and hurt them. But they're in there with them. So that means I've got to go out there to feed and water them now. So that makes a little more work. You wouldn't think just having to feed one more flock outside would make that much difference, but it actually doubles the amount of work I have to do with the chickens outside now. Hello, Tish. Good to have you here. Well, I'm getting that down now. It's just a little bit farther to come over to where the water is to rinse the water out. I carry the water over in a 5-gallon bucket, so that's not a big deal. Because the water I'm using for the chicks only holds a quart, so I just make sure I have a little bit of extra water in the bucket, and not a big deal with that. But, well, Dino wants to climb on the laptop, so I'm going to hold him now. We've got brother and sister here, born April 7th. Hello, Canadian Family Life. Good to have you here. Dino's not much for being held. He hates it. He's a little bit better now than he was. Because he used to literally scream if you try to hold him still. But at least he's gotten over that now. But he'll squirm on my hand if I try to hold him once he tries to go. But that's just let him go. It's funny how much difference these kittens are. The Fluffy will sit right here all day and let me pet her. Hello, Haig. So I see you had join on your new channel. Do you have those other ones canceled? So you're not gonna get billed 3 times next month? If not, I think I'm not positive on it. I have to check and see if I can do it. I think I can cancel those other 2. because I don't want to see you get billed for a membership for 3 times when you're actually only using one of the channels. I can't remember what else I was going to say. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, I'm just wondering about, because this is the third channel that you've purchased a membership on, and I'm just wondering about those other 2, if you were able to cancel them. Because it's automatic renewal until you cancel. Now, I guess I don't want to see you get billed for all 3 next month. So if you haven't canceled those other 2, or if you're not able to cancel them or whatever, I can see if I can do it. And maybe I can check with someone to see what to do about that. So just let me know if you need me to do that for you, Haig. And then when we go pick up my glasses, then I'm going to see if we can stop at Tractor Supply. I need to get pine shavings, and I'm getting down on chicken feed, so I probably should get some layer feed and some chick starter. And if anyone would like to contribute anything to my PayPal for that, it would be appreciated. I've got a little bit of money on there, but I don't have a lot. So, and any money I'm getting from YouTube through super chats and super stickers and memberships and stuff, I don't get that money right away. Just so everyone knows that. I've got over $100 that I'll be getting, I think, sometime in August. So that's one reason I'm kind of short on money now. But I think maybe some people they bought a super chat, super sticker, thinking I was going to get that money right away. But there's always a delay on it. First of all, you got to meet the $100 threshold, which I actually did meet that in June. But since my AdSense verification wasn't done yet, that I didn't get the money deposited in my PayPal. So now I have to wait until the end of July, and then whenever they send out the deposits for July, then I should have everything from the last part of May when I was monetized. I think it was Memorial Day through July 31st. Then all that should come in sometime in August. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Haig. As I was saying there earlier, had kind of a rough week and kind of tired. But I'm recovering from that now. There's still nothing final on any property. There's one that's very promising, but there's nothing final on that. And as I was saying the other night, I'm not really going to give any information out about it until it's a done deal. And then I'm going to put a video out on it. Because I haven't been having too much lately to put a good video out on. I got a halfway decent one out last night on my first year on YouTube. Wasn't as good as I wanted because I wasn't able to get some of the clips in there that I wanted. I want to go right back to the beginning and pick clips from the whole year. Well, for some reason, I could go through and pick the clips that I want to use, but then when I'm trying to edit it through Filmora, it wouldn't let me get the older clips on there. As far as disability, that's another thing I was going to mention. My appointment with the attorney is August 11th. So I'm going to go over all my paperwork again and make sure I've got everything in there. All the doctors I've seen and physical therapy. I think I've got everything, but I'm going to go over it once more and just make sure everything's in there, so hopefully there won't be any delays. And I've been told that I'm going to have to go to doctors and probably physical therapy in Arkansas before it can be filed. So I'll find all that out on August 11th, but hopefully things will move along pretty good with that. Well, thank you, Texas Homegrown Girl. Yeah, I'll know more about that soon. And like I say, after it's a done deal, then I'll put a video out on it. Hello, Drew. Good to have you here. You still slaving away at work? Or are you done with work now? And another thing I did this week is when we were at Walmart, I picked up, I don't know what it's called, the 3-way adapter where you plug a cord into it and you got 3 outlets. Pick one of them up. Hello, Wanda. Good to have you here. Oh, that's good, Drew. So now I've got 3 outlets available. It's a 12 gauge extension cord coming in that had the air conditioner plugged into. So that will handle more than just the air conditioner. So now I've got my mini fridge in here. So I have a refrigerator inside. And also I got a cord plugged into it that I run to the other side of the kitchen that I can run the microwave and toaster off from. Hello, J&B. Good to have you here. So before I was having to unplug the air conditioner and plug that other cord in. so I could run the microwave or the toaster. But now the only thing I have to do is unplug the microwave to use the toaster and vice versa. But not a big deal. But it's a lot handier having the refrigerator in here now. I can't keep too much in it. It's a very small refrigerator, but I keep a gallon of iced tea in there, butter, cream cheese. So, a few little things like that. So it sure saves on having to go out to the big refrigerator every time I want something. And if any of you didn't see my video last Monday, it explained what happened with my live last Sunday. Well, we had minor storm in the morning, but it was worse in other areas. Well, about 8 o'clock Sunday morning, our power went out. A couple hours later, it came on for about 5 minutes. Just long enough for me to get outside, unplug the refrigerator from the generator, plug it back into the grid, and unplug my other cord from the generator, plug that into the grid. Then power went out again. So I had to wait a few minutes. See if we're going to come back on. Didn't come back on. Okay, I'll unplug everything. I just switch back over to the grid, back to the generator, start the generator. Then, I don't know, probably 2-3 hours later, power comes back on again. Now this time, I wait about 10 minutes. Stays on. Okay. We'll switch everything over. Everything's good. Stays on for a couple hours. 3 o'clock, power went out again. So we'll switch everything back over the generator. And part of the left out is I don't have control over the Wi-Fi router. So that wasn't plugged into the generator. So that was the issue. There was no Wi-Fi. Then power comes back on about 6:45. About 15 minutes before I should be ending my live. Well, but then too late to do the live. So that's what happened with that. Yes, it is, J&B. It is a lot easier this way. Hello, Corn-Fed Life. Good to have you here. And it's, for some reason, my phone doesn't want to let me use data. I think it's a service, actually. Because it's through Q-Link Wireless, and I've had nothing but problems ever since I got them. And later this month, today's the 16th. I don't think it's, yeah, I think I still have a week or so. I'm going to switch back to Assurance Wireless. I'll have to buy one of their phones. But that's all I use for I used a hotspot on there. That's all I had for internet for about 6 months. So I'm going to try that again. No, J&B. I was explain that before you got here. I failed both the vision test and the written test. So I had to go to Walmart, see the eye doctor. I've got glasses that are supposed to be here this week. They're supposed to call when they come in. And then I'm not going to try the written test again. I got a couple donations so I could renew my New York license. And I sent that out yesterday. So hopefully that won't take too long, get that renewed. And then I'll be able to just turn that in and get an Arkansas license, since that'll be a valid license. Hello, Roy and Becky's Travels. Good to have you here. So hopefully that will happen soon. Because my food stamps and Medicaid in New York have both been canceled. Well, as of tomorrow, they're canceled. So I need to get that ID so I can get signed up for stuff here. Hello, Zombie Prepper. Good to have you here. And then I have an appointment with the attorney for my disability on August 11th. And I'm going to go over everything again, make sure I've got all the doctors listed on there and the MRIs that I've had done, physical therapy, make sure I have contact information for all of them. Everything should be okay, but I'm just going to double check that again before I go. And then my understanding is I'll still have to get set up with a doctor down here and probably start physical therapy before that can be filed. But hopefully I can find all that out on the 11th. And hopefully by then I'll have my ID so I can be signed up for Medicaid, so I can do all that stuff I need to do. Well, that's okay, J&B. I usually repeat everything several times anyways. But my average view time is approximately 15 minutes. So there's people coming and going during the whole live. So that's why I repeat stuff. So that just makes it easier. Then you don't have to go back and watch a whole hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, to catch everything. Oh, that's good, Roy. Yeah, they don't do that here. If your license from another state is expired, it's an awful hassle to get a Arkansas license. I think if it's expired less than 30 days, I think you're okay. Then you can just change it over. But between 30 days and a year, you have to take the written test. And the written test in this state is very difficult. And then if it's been over a year, then you have to start right over from scratch. You have to get a permit and then take the written test and skills test and everything. Yeah, I believe here the licenses are good for 8 years, same as New York is. So mine will most likely be good until I'm 60. Oh yeah, I know what you talk about there, Roy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8 years here. It's the same as New York. Here, a license is a regular Class D license is $40. In New York, it's $64.50. But the only good thing about that is I'll be able to get half of that back after I get my Arkansas license and turn my New York license in. Because if you've had it for less than 4 years, they'll give half of it back to you. So I'll get $32.25 back then. Hello, Mike. Good to have you here. And the CDLB that I had in New York, to renew that would have been $164.50. But here in Arkansas, a CDL is it's more than the 40 is for a regular license, but not much more. It's less than $50 for a CDL. So I don't know why there's so much difference between different states. Hello, Nikki. Good to have you here. So, it was a productive week. Even though I'm not much farther ahead than I was, still the process of getting there is a little farther ahead. Yeah, I know New York used to be 4 years on the license. And then they went to either 5 or 6 years. I think it was 5 years. And then after a while, they went to 8 years. You should be able to get one, Drew. Yeah, I know, Drew. Brett was telling me that you wanted me to keep my CDL so I could haul your backhoe around for you. I wouldn't be able to do that with a CDLB. Because with a CDLB, you can only haul 10,000 pounds or less. You can only tow, I shouldn't say haul. Because you can haul more than that in the back of a dump truck, but but you can't tow more than 10,000 pounds. And I looked it up. Your backhoe is approximately 13,000 pounds. Plus the weight of the trailer. Well, if you pass the test and got your permit, can't you just get your practice on someone's vehicle? Like the guy that you have hauling your backhoe around now? And then take his setup to do your skills test? I'm not sure how things work here, but I know in New York you can do that. If you go to truck driving school, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, Drew, that's good. Because I did look into that. But then when I saw that I could only tow 10,000 pounds or less, I checked your video where you were showing it off to get the model number of it and stuff. And then I Googled the weight of it. And it was saying that your several sites on there were saying your backhoe is approximately 13,000 pounds. So that right there, if all you include a trailer, is way over the limit. Yeah, when I got my CDL in New York back in 2000, I think it was. Yes, 2000. It was $1,000 because I already had my permit. I got the CDL manual and studied for it, and went to DMV, passed the written test, got my permit. So that cut 2 weeks out of the truck driving school. All I had to do was just go out on the road for, I think it was 2 days. And the instructor said I was ready to take my test. So then I just went the day the test was scheduled. He took the bus into the city where they gave the test. Then I guess I had to meet him out there. And there was 2 of us took the test on the bus that day. And we both passed. Yep, price of everything has gone up, that's for sure. One thing that hasn't gone up is the national minimum wage. In New York, they're in the process of putting the minimum wage up to $15. Fast food is already there. And then the rest of the jobs, I believe it's at 14.20 now. Hello, Brandon. Good to have you here. Yep, you got that right, Brandon. Well, in fact, I was working at a small mom and pop store years ago. It was back around 2013, 2014, somewhere along in there. And they were talking about raising the minimum wage. One of the customers came in and she was saying how glad she is that they're going to raise the minimum wage. And she said she'll be so much better off when they raise it. And the owner of the store said, he said, you do realize if minimum wage goes up, that means the price of everything in this store is going up? And she said, oh, I never thought about that. And he didn't rip anyone off. He wasn't running the store to make money. It was an older couple, and they had enough money to live on, but it was just something to keep busy and make a few extra dollars. But they weren't dependent on the money from the store for an income. In fact, if he could get something at a lower cost than he normally got it for, he would lower the price of what he was selling it for. Like I know one example is he got sick and his son came and running the store for a few months. Well, his son, younger guy, he's able to do a lot more and stuff. He was going to Sam's Club and buying milk, eggs, because that type of stuff he was getting ripped off on, because there was only very few vendors that would sell to small stores with that. So he's going to Sam's Club and getting a lot of stuff. Well, it turns out that they could actually sell milk and make the same amount of profit on it. They could sell the milk cheaper than they were buying it from that vendor that was delivering it for. So I just shows you, they definitely weren't trying to gouge anyone. But it's just when he started having to pay all the employees more, then he had to raise his prices. That's not a bad idea, J&B. Because Drew's always the first one there to help someone. Well, Wanda, the main thing is you can click on the name and then click on go to channel, and you can check people's channels out and subscribe to them if you want. And if you ever see a troll in here, someone that's obviously saying nasty stuff or trying to post something in here that's inappropriate or whatever, then there's always an option there to block them. I've had to have a moderator do that a few times. Well, I shouldn't say a few times, just a couple times actually. There is land for sale in Arkansas. Actually, I was just thinking earlier today, there was someone on MT Homestead Live saying they were looking for land in Arkansas. And I was thinking it'd be nice if someone could set up some kind of page where people could list stuff on there they knew was for sale. So then when you got someone looking for land to homestead or whatever in this area, they could go there and look through everything. Because it's hard to find everything. Because I have been on a lot of different websites in the past 6 months or so looking at different property. It's hard. Hello, Masha. Good to have you here. Well, I'm glad you have someone that can haul that around for you, Drew. Okay, Brandon. Thank you. I appreciate it. You sleep, Drew? I didn't know that. You do so much. I didn't think you ever slept. Yeah, I'd love to see that, Wanda. Because then you hear someone's looking for land in Arkansas or Oklahoma or whatever. Then you could just direct them there and they could look down through and see what's available. You know, Drew, Dogman's mad at me because he was going to go to the auction and buy your house. So he's mad that I brought it to your attention. Yeah, I know he would never have done that. If he'd seen it, he would have let you know too. Would anyone else have any questions for me? Anyone came in late that missed anything? Sounds like an idea, Bobby. Did anyone have a topic you want me to talk on? Just let me know if you do. Yes, it would, Wanda. That Shane I was telling about, he does know a few people in this area, so that might give him a slight advantage because he's got a few people that can be looking out for him. But it's tough if you don't know the area, you don't know what websites to search and stuff. Yeah, Haig. I think someone should do that, and then people can post in there, and it really should help out. You come along pretty good at Jeff's, Drew? I've been watching your videos and Jeff's videos, and it looks like things are coming along pretty good. I never even heard of that, Bobby. Yeah, Jamie, I think the problem is there's been storms in so many places in the United States that they're probably having trouble getting crews in from other areas. Because I know the Northeast has been hit hard the past week, too. Flooding and thunderstorms, and I know I've been seeing where a lot of roads have been washed out in New York. Okay, Roy, have a good day. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not complaining about the rain. It's still as much rain as we've had this summer. It's still not as bad as the last couple of years have been in New York. It's just been nonstop rain up there. And it looks like since I left, it got even worse. Yes, there is small town newspaper, Haig. It's, I believe, the Wadron News. In fact, I was just looking that up online last night. I want to subscribe to that at some point if I ever get money enough to. Probably have to get my disability. Because I like those small town newspapers. Thank you for the reminder on the thumbs up, Wanda. I appreciate it. Because that really does work. I can't tell what I'm at right now because it doesn't say on StreamYard, and I can only get YouTube on my phone right now because I don't want to take a chance on freezing up my laptop. But I know once you hit 50 likes, then more people start coming in. So, watch Tom Mountain Living. You know, there's someone else complains about not liking my lives. And I think you might know the guy, too. Yeah, definitely, Wanda. That would be a good idea. I should have made a pot of coffee. That's right, Game B. Grumbler. That's a good name for him. Wanda, you realize he's just messing around, don't you? He's a friend of mine. Yep. It's Dog Man. Yeah, if he ever came in my live and said something nice, I'd be calling the ambulance because I'd know there was something wrong with him. Yeah, he's a good dude. What you do, might get attacked by a dragonfly? Well, I can make a comment on that, JB. He was sure hoping it didn't turn out this way. If he had any idea that I was going to end up here, he would not have done it. Hello, Hand Me Down Outdoors. Good to have you here. Hope I didn't miss anyone else here. Yep. Mike, you're thinking back now, that was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Now, hopefully, when I get my glasses this week, I'll be able to see this chat a little better. Not too bad, but yeah, that's it. Blame it on alcohol. You were drunk the day you did it. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to me. Hopefully, I don't lose the Wi-Fi. If I do happen to lose the Wi-Fi, I'll just have to move the laptop closer to the window again, and it should come right back. Yep. Yeah, everything's going to work out, Wanda. Got a good start on it now. This is a good area of Arkansas. I love it here. I hate it when those hearts are there in the chat window because it always covers up the bottom message. Hey, Batman, you come over to see me? He actually didn't come over to see me. I have a potato chip bag sitting over here. I finish up the potato chips, and they like to lick out the bag, so I always rip it open for them because I don't want them sticking their head in the bag. So I rip the bag open, lay it out for them. Batman came over to lick it off. You know, it's funny that some people can see it and some can't. Because I've been in other lives and it'd be the same thing. That's probably it, Mike. I don't think it is on phones. I never thought about it. That's probably why some are seeing it and some aren't. I'm not seeing it because it doesn't show up on StreamYard. And I'm not going to open YouTube up on here and take a chance on freezing this up. Not until I can get a better laptop. Well, there goes that theory then. Don't bring me any of your tomatoes, Mike. I'm going to grow some tomatoes next year. I'll probably give some away. I'm definitely not going to eat them myself. And then I'll give my chickens some. Well, that's good. You can have every one of them. Tomatoes aren't my thing. Okay, sounds good. Oh, Wanda, if it didn't have the tomatoes on it, then I would say maybe it's good, but not with tomatoes. Nope, not yum. I hate tomatoes. Yeah, I hate tomatoes and everything made with tomatoes. Hello, LP. Good to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, I've never liked tomatoes. In fact, if I bite into a tomato, it will literally make me sick. Well, you know what? By telling me that about Jeff, that just means I have all the more respect for him now. People think I'm a picky eater, but I'm really not. It's just tomatoes is in so much stuff. But other than tomatoes, certain types of squash, um, beets, and mustard. I like pretty much everything else except real hot stuff. It can have just a little bit of spice to it, but nothing terribly hot. if the chili's made right. If it doesn't have tomatoes in it, and if it's not spicier than heck, then I do like chili. Hello, Paula. Good to have you here. But unfortunately, my mom was the only person that really made chili that I liked. I've tried it, but could never get it exactly like she made it. But I can get to the point that I can eat it. Well, Wanda, if it doesn't have tomatoes in it and it's not spicier than heck, then maybe I would love it. But if it's got tomatoes in it, or if it's real spicy, then I can guarantee you I wouldn't like it. Yeah, I'm hoping to be settled by next year, and then I'll have a garden. Well, the mild, as long as it doesn't have any tomatoes in it, that I might like it. But I want to start expanding my chickens soon. Unfortunately, never heard of chocolate tomatoes. Well, that's pretty darn good, Wanda. You're crazy, Mike. Yeah, I started to say there. Unfortunately, we're getting so late in the year now that if I get chicks now, by the time they get grown up and start laying eggs, and they could be hacked, I'd miss the prime chick season next year. So looks like it'll be the year after before I can really get going on the chickens. Yeah, there's a lot of plants as long as they're getting the right amount of light and moisture. You can grow them inside. You mean how many chickens do I want to get, Haig? Um, I'm not really sure. But I do want to get a few more flocks of different breeds. And I want to keep the breeds separate. The ones I have right now, all I can get out of them is the barnyard mix. But I want to, which some people will be happy with them, but they don't sell for as much. But I do want to do some purebred chickens. I want to have a flock of Buffalo Orpingtons, flock of Barred Rocks, and I'm not really sure what other breeds. I know those are the first two breeds that I definitely want to start with. Yes, Wanda. Yeah, chickens is the main thing I want to do. Hello, Eddie. Good to have you here. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reading on chickens, and I've had my chickens for just over 2 years now. Yeah, you don't get a friendlier chicken than the Buffalo Orpingtons. I'm not doing too bad. Yep. A lot of the chickens are dual purpose. I won't raise any chickens for meat, but obviously someone buys chicks from me. If they want to end up keeping the pullets and processing the roosters, then that's up to them. Yeah, all my chickens are friendly. They are now. Hello, Kobe. Good to have you here. I had to get in a fight with Earl yesterday. He came at me very aggressively. He broke the feeder by trying to kick it away from me, then kicked the water that went flying. Well, fortunately, I was able to get the feeder put back together, but we got into it pretty good. I ended up knocking him down, and he got up and he accepted the fact that he'd been defeated. And he went over in the far corner of the run and pouted for a while. And he's been a completely different rooster ever since. I had to do it to him once last year, too. And once he realizes that he's not alpha, that I'm alpha, then he's fine with me. But when he starts getting aggressive, he just keeps pushing more and more and more. And yesterday, he really got bad with me. So hopefully he'll accept the fact now that I'm higher in the pecking order than he is. Yep, that's the same way with me, Eddie. LP asking what will I grow in my garden. Um, I plan on I'll probably grow tomatoes for both the chickens and give away or possibly sell. I'll have to see if maybe I'll be in an area where I could put something up beside the road, but that's all going to depend on traffic and stuff. And I want to have some watermelons, both for myself and the chickens. And probably potatoes, onions, peppers. Beans, peas, carrots. Probably just a good variety. And then I'll get to see from there what ends up working out the best, and I'll probably adjust it year to year. Yeah, he goes in spurts. Last spring, Earl was just as friendly as he could be. He'd come up to me, eat on my hand, let me pet him. On a real good day, I could pick him up. And then he started getting a little bit aggressive. And he's gotten more aggressive the past month or so. And then yesterday, he was just real bad. But hopefully he learned his lesson and he won't do that again. Because that's what happened last year. Because I actually knocked him down out of the air. Yep, that's right, Eddie. I'm sure Earl will go right back to being just as friendly as he was before. Hello, Pafford Homestead. Not sure if it's Charlie or Brandy, or if it's both of you, but welcome. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That's definitely going to be a big help. As I was saying earlier, I won't see any of this until sometime next month, but it's appreciated. It'll be nice when I get that first check from YouTube, or first direct deposit from YouTube, I should say. Thank you. Yep, that's right. Sometimes Bruce will fight to death. Well, actually, JB, one of the places I looked at is close to a town. You okay, Dixie? I think Dixie just fell. I heard something hit the floor, and she's the only thing that's over there. Yeah, I think I'll make a good garden, LP. I'll just have to see how that goes. Okay, Brandy. I knew it was one or the other. Hello, Russian Wind Mountain. Good to have you here. Hello, Josh. Good to have you here. I guess I'm on the chat again. Yes, that's right, Jane B. I can get a delivery from Harps here, but on top of the regular fees, there's an additional $7 charge because it's a long distance. So that would really add up. But it's a lot better here, even though I'm farther from the stores. It's still a lot better here than it was in New York. Because at least I've been able to get rides to go to the store. And post office is easy to get to here too. It's only a little over a mile. So that's not bad at all. Okay, Mark. Thank you. I appreciate it. When I get everything finalized on a place, I'll be putting a video out about it. That's why I'm not going to give a lot of details right now on where I'm looking and stuff. And then I'm hoping I can put out a good video when I actually have a place and it's final and everything. Yeah, that's right, Wanda. Okay, if you want to chat among yourselves for a little bit, I got to get up and move around a little bit. Okay, I'm back. That's the only thing with this setup is I don't have room enough to stretch my legs out where I have to have the laptop to get the Wi-Fi signal. No, Urbanstead just doesn't sound right. That sounds too city. Yep, a couple acres would be perfect. Looking at a minimum of an acre. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate it. It's being close to town is something I'm taking into consideration. The one property that I was telling you about that I really told too much on because that I wouldn't be able to do a good video on if I'd end up getting it because I'd already told you everything about it. But that one, that had a store right close by, but that wasn't the right property. But there's other ones, other places. It's gonna end up being pretty close to town. Well, hopefully, yes, I'll find the right place. You know, the right one will come along. You know, within the next month, there should be some good things happening. Well, a month from now, I will have seen the disability attorney. And then he'll let me know whatever else he needs. And I should have my license before that. And I'll have my glasses sometime this week, so I'll be able to see. Okay, Wanda. Thank you for being here. You have a good night. Right now, I'm not set up real well to get too many more chickens. Hello, Victoria. Good to have you here. And then I was thinking the other day that by the time they start laying and I'm able to hatch some eggs, we're going to be so far into the season that maybe I won't be really getting into the chicken business next year. or is it going to depend on getting my permanent place? But maybe this fall I'll get a few chicks, and then early next year I'll have to get the ones I want for the following year. So by the time they grow up, they'll be ready. Dino again. Dino, there you go. Good boy. And he's getting a little better about getting held. Need help, Dixie? There, put Dixie up there so she doesn't end up jumping on the laptop. Because normally, right where I have the laptop, where she jumps up, then jump up to the next level. Okay, buddy. But one thing I'm going to have to do is get some electric fence in. Because the electric fence I have around the chickens now, that's not my electric fence. But I definitely do want to have all the chickens enclosed with electric fence. My plan is possibly getting the 100 and I think it's 165-foot fence in that they have at Tractor Supply and I'm sure other places. That will give me a good area. That'll give me about 1,600 square feet. Run that around the perimeter. And then inside that, I can have separate runs separated by chicken wire. Along the electric fences around the outside to keep predators out. Then and inside of that, I can just split it up with chicken wire for individual runs for the different breeds of chickens. Ideally, I would like to fence in the entire property. Probably not with electric, because that would be very expensive. But I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 foot high welded wire. That would be expensive, but not as bad as the electric wire. And hopefully that would keep dogs out. Because dogs is the biggest thing I'm concerned about. Because other than the pigs crushing Lucky, which I don't think I attacked her or anything because she didn't have any bite marks on her or anything. But you could tell that a pig had laid on her. But other than that, any other chicken I've had that's been killed has been by a dog. So that's why dogs are my biggest concern. So if I could fence in the perimeter of the property with 4 or 5 foot high welded wire, and then the area where the chickens are, put electric fence around that. Then if a dog did get onto the property, then the electric fence would be there to to hopefully keep them from getting to the chickens. And from what Jeff has said, because he said in a couple different videos, every time he has chickens get killed by dog, he said every time the fence has been turned off because he's been working on it. And he says every time the fence is on, if a dog goes up to it and touches it, they run off yelping. So that's why I want to have the area where the chickens are protected by electric fence. They'll have to check more specifically on the setup Mama V's got for her birds. I can't remember exactly how she's got it set up. I'll go back and watch some of her videos again. And I'm going to have a place that's got some shade, because the chickens are definitely going to need some shade during the summer. Plus, having trees around, that's going to help deter overhead predators also. Not that I've ever had a problem with hawks or eagles or anything, but I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving them open invitation. But they definitely need the shade. Like where my chickens are now, that's almost completely shaded there. In the afternoon, when the sun gets around to the west, it shines in there some, but it only shines in there hot for an hour or two. And they don't have to be on that side of the run if they don't want to be. Well, thanks, J&B. I'll have to see exactly what it is, because I can't remember exactly how she got it set up. But that sounds like a good setup there. Yeah, I want to get an LGD. I've been looking at them on Craigslist a little bit. In fact, I saw one on there today. I can't quite figure out why they're selling the puppies for $100. It's a licensed breeder, and they're, I believe it's 3/4 Anatolian and 1/4 Great Pyrenees. And puppies are 7 weeks old, and they have them listed for $100. It sounds like, and they've been around goats and sheep. They haven't been around chickens, but at 7 weeks old, they're still young enough to train. But I just can't quite figure out why they're selling them for $100. It seems like being a licensed breeder and the Anatolian and Great Pyrenees, they are both livestock guardian dogs. And I've seen some there, I think as high as 500, which that I would never go 500 on them. But it's definitely worth investing some money into a livestock guardian dog. Well, you know what, dog man? There was someone else in here earlier saying they didn't like this live. I think you and that guy might be related. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, J and B. Especially being a breeder. You're not head moderator. All moderators are standard moderators. And you think I'm crazy enough to make you a managing moderator? No, I should put the link up so Dog Man can come up. Yeah, Dog Man's never ready for anything. Because I've been thinking about livestock guardian dog for years. There was something I want to get someday. Bobby, why do you have to say that? You're going to scare everyone off by saying that. No one wants to even think about that. That is a scary, scary thought. Oh, look at that. I've been on here for 2 hours. Mike, come on. You guys quit saying stuff like that. You're scaring me. I don't even want to think about you guys being naked. Yeah, I know it is about an hour and 59 minutes too long. Yeah, look what you guys did. Before you started talking about that, I had 19 viewers in here. Now I'm down to 15. Well, now I came back up to 16. Because that one that just came in, you'll probably scare them away now. I've never hit a drop of 4 viewers in the matter of 30 seconds before. Hello, Sci-Fi 20XX. Yeah, that's a good question. Where's the buffet? Hello, Susan. Good to have you here. I'm not really looking at a Pacific breed. I just know them Great Pyrenees, Anatolian. Um, I know there's a couple other breeds that are supposed to be good. So so I'm not really sure what would be the best. There is some Hind 57 breeds that I have heard work out very well. Okay, good night, J&B. It's good to have you here. I know one breed that I don't want is any breed of hunting dogs. I'm not sure on that, Susan. Um, Definitely, it's got to be something good with chickens. Yeah, my last one that was killed, Buffy, she was killed by a hunting dog. That's one reason I definitely do not want a hunting dog. My 2 Easter eggers, um, my 2 Easter eggers, they were killed by a pit bull. I know I've had bad experiences with pit bulls. Yeah, there's you may be able to train a hunting dog, but you got a better chance with a Lifeset Guardian breed. I'm not saying that all hunting dogs would be bad, but you've got less of a chance that they're going to turn out good. I'd love to be able to train a beagle to be a good Lifeset Guardian dog, because beagles are my favorite breed of dogs. Normally, Great Pyrenees aren't lazy. The problem with the Great Pyrenees is normally they want to travel. Well, before you sent the pups off, I should have had you train one of the pups for me then. Well, you got good point there. Rooster would teach you. Okay, Victoria. At what age would you put a pup in with the chickens, dog man? Probably like 7, 8 weeks, 4 weeks. Yeah, yeah, it would scare me with dog messing around with snakes. Yeah, I think he's probably thinking that if they get a hold of a venomous snake, they're gonna get bit. Yeah. My mom used to have a husky that would kill snakes, but I don't know if they ever had a venomous snake in their yard. Usually, in the venomous snakes in New York, they weren't out in anyone's yard. They were in the woods, in the mountains, around the swamps. Yeah, Wakita Mountain living. You tell Dog Man. So is that a sure thing on raising a puppy around chickens? Like if I get a beagle puppy, would I be able to raise it around chickens and know that it was going to be good? Like I said, beagles are my favorite. I would love to have a beagle. Well, I think Watchtown Mountain Living scared Dogman away. Well, I'm going to look into that. The only thing is, Beagle's not going to be able to fight anything of any size off, but they definitely, a Beagle definitely would alert me to something out there. That's for sure. No, I'm not getting one yet. I'm just looking into it. Because I'm not set up for a puppy right now, anyways. If I have any problem with snakes, I'm calling Dogman Snake Removal Service. A beagle will kill a coyote? Didn't know that. And I haven't seen a rattler in years. Yeah, I've heard that rat snakes are very good to have around. And you hear coyotes out behind here almost every night. And Bud and Daisy go take care of them. They chase them right off. I think that is true about coyotes not coming near humans. Because where I was living in New York, my camper was between the barn and the land out back. Partly woods, partly fields. There was a gravel bed out there. That's where the coyotes were, was out back. And there was an open barn. Coyotes could have gone there any time and cleaned its chickens right out. And they never did. The only thing he ever lost chickens to, the main thing was his own dog. And then the second thing was a raccoon. But I could sit right in my camper, either playing videos on my laptop, or when I had a TV, have the TV playing whatever. The coyotes would be so close, I could hear them right over whatever I was playing. So they weren't too far out there. But they would never come up near the barn. And we always kind of figured it's because I was out there. It's like, I gotta ask him if he's had a problem since I moved out. Hello, Blue Mountain Outdoors. Good to have you here. Yep, I really don't want to have any snakes around, but unfortunately, they're going to be around. That's the only thing I can say about rat snakes and some of those non-venomous snakes that are so big is they do eat the venomous snakes. That's the only thing I can say about them. I wish I didn't have to encounter any snakes, but as long as they're getting rid of the venomous snakes, I guess I can accept them. I know when I was a kid, there was what originally my brother, and he 12 years older than me, so I probably was like 10, 12 at the time, and he would have been early to mid 20s. Thought there was a dog across the road one night. Well, when it came a little closer, he realized it wasn't a dog, it was a coy dog. And that was coming right towards us. And coy dogs we used to have them real bad around that area. They're supposed to be a mix between a coyote and a domestic dog. Yeah, that video that Tiny Farm Nuggets put out, those snakes were like 15 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Oh, okay, Bobby. Yeah, I saw Deborah out there that morning. She pulled her camera out, and it just, luckily she had it with her that morning. She was planning on doing some filming. She wasn't planning on filming two snakes, but she just happened to come across them, and she had her camera. That's what my father always used to say too, Mike. He said he wanted to keep the lawn mowed. Well, he said it would keep the snakes away, but I'll tell you, I saw a lot of snakes when I was a kid because I was petrified of them. It just made it easier to see them. And you really think he's lurking? Yeah, everyone always spelled it COY dog. Combination of coyote and then dog. Yeah, I probably should be going outside something different than what I do. I'm always outside with shorts and sneakers. I should be wearing boots. Yes, Haig, I have thought about that. Yes, I've ridden my bike a little bit, Susan. Went to the post office yesterday. I gotta start getting up earlier in the morning and taking a ride every morning. The black bears really don't scare me. Grizzly bear, on the other hand, that could scare me. I still haven't found my phone mount for my bike. Because I want to start videoing when I'm riding my bike. But that phone mount wasn't where I thought it was. But I do remember taking it off my old bike the day I left New York. So it's definitely here somewheres. In the wild, the closest I've ever been to a black bear is probably, I would say 75 to 100 feet. That was at a campground in the Adirondack Mountains. They had signs all over the place, and they had the dumpsters all enclosed with all kinds of fencing and stuff, and they would lock the gate at, I think it was 8 o'clock. So you had to have your trash up there before that. And of course, you weren't supposed to leave any food out or anything. Well, we're sitting out around the bonfire one night, and all of a sudden, the campsite up top of the hill from where we were, they started screaming up there. What happened, they were roasting marshmallows. They had a bag of marshmallows sitting on the picnic table. They were sitting around the fire, and when they need more marshmallows, they'd reach up on the table and grab 2 more marshmallows. But the bag of marshmallows was behind them. Well, they turned around to get more marshmallows. There's a bear standing there eating marshmallows right off the picnic table, right behind them. So they were terrified. They started screaming to everyone, go inside. They went running inside. Bear got through eating the marshmallows. Went to the next campsite, sniffed around, couldn't find anything. Went to the next campsite, same thing, sniffed around, couldn't find anything. And then there gets too much commotion for them. Then just took off at a dead run right down towards where our campsite was and just ran into the woods. That bear wasn't going to hurt anyone, just out looking for snacks. Yeah, I heard some horror stories about moose. Well, the main thing a black bear is after is food. So chances are they're not going to bother you. But one thing you do have to remember is any clothes that you were wearing while you were cooking or eating, make sure you take them off before you go to bed. Put something clean on, and especially if you're in a tent, don't have those clothes in the tent because bears smell them and then they'll think there's food in there. I know that bear there was scared away by all the commotion. And I've always heard that to yell, wave your arms and stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Unless it's a mama bear with cubs, then you're in big trouble if you happen to stumble across them. But for the most part, black bears are harmless. But the main thing with black bears is they're looking for food. So don't leave trash out. Don't leave food out. Even though those people sitting around the bonfire roasting marshmallows, they didn't intend the bear to walk right up next to them and eat the marshmallows, but it happened. Hello, Des. Good to have you here. Well, anyone have any other topics you want to talk about? Well, I've been on here for over 2.5 hours now, and I'm running out of stuff to talk about. So if anyone's got a topic you want me to talk about or any questions, just let me know. Good night, Sci Fi. Good to have you here. Good night, BK. Good night, Susan. It looks like a lot of people are leaving now. And no one's come up with any questions for me or topics, so I know you just got here, Des, but looks like it might be about time to end this. I want to thank everyone for being here. I appreciate it. It was a good live tonight. Good night, Bobby. Thanks for being here. Okay. Good night, Des. You have a good night. Okay, thank you, everyone.